Hello, how you doing? Tom here, and this is episode 1 of my Witcher 3 playthrough. Now this is basically going to be... This is post-commentary, so it's recorded after the gameplay was recorded. And I'm going to be talking about the Witcher's characters, the Witcher's lore, general stuff about the books, the games, and just things that come to mind, really, while I watch my own footage back. This is my second playthrough, so I've got the knowledge of the whole game in my head, so it'll be good to go back over it again and spot the little things that I missed before and talk about them. So yeah, let's watch the cutscene, I guess. I don't know what that is. Like, is that meant to be an Endrigger or something? I don't know, it's like a weird crab thing.
It wasn't meant to amuse, but to prod you to hurry. It's midday already. You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
The thing I love about this scene is that, like, CD Projekt Red, they've been kind of known for the way they've portrayed, like, women and stuff. Like, they've come a long way from fucking sex cards from Witcher 1.
See you later.
That was some shit, man. But this scene, like, it's just normal, isn't it? It's just how a normal couple interacts. Like, it's good. I like it. There's arse, so that's good too. But it's just like, it's quite close to real life, really, as close as I've seen in a game for a long time, and especially compared to the other two games, it's just a massive improvement. So it took me a while there to work out what just happened, but Yennefer's a sorceress, and sorceresses have special spells. And sometimes, when they use these special spells, they either gain or lose clothes. I don't know.
Shit. Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
Mm-hmm. See Ciri training down there. So yeah, this is the first time that we, I think the first time we see Yennefer in the games. She's been this sort of, I haven't completed Witcher 1, I played a bit of it, but haven't finished it. I know the story well enough. But throughout the whole of Witcher 2, like, Yennefer was this only spoken about sort of mysterious woman that we only heard glimpses of throughout the game. But yeah, so this is the first time we've actually seen her in the flesh.
I don't want to be reasonable.
So that's the way the wind blows.
Damn right, it's the way the wind blows.
Go and train with her, then come back. It'll give me a chance to put my face on.
Of all the women I've known, you're the only one who does that before.
You've known many.
What's it matter? Only ever thought of you.
My boy. Good save. Good save.
Lilac and gooseberries, of course.
Geralt, stop fingering.
That was a big thing in the books. Like, they always... I say they, I mean Peter Sapkowski, that's his name, who wrote the books. He always made a big thing of talking about how much Yennefer smelled of lilac and gooseberries. I'm not sure why, but it's translated to the games. Here's Vesemir, OG pimp. This guy's one of my favourite characters. He's the best.
Old Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course.
And I will actually be posting a character lore video at some point in the distant future. It's a big one, it'll take a while. So whenever a new character appears throughout the playthrough, I'll be sticking a little link next to their faces. in the video that you can click on. It'll take you to a lore video that will explain a bit about them and their background.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Don't get mad at her.
Why the hell not? The whippersnapper refuses to do as she's told.
You like that about her?
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she's to become one of us. I'll see you below.
Now I think this cutscene is set at some point between like the first and second books. Or is it just the first book?
Wrong.
Because at some point Ciri was at Kaer Morhen and she was training with them. And then she buggered off. So this... yeah, this must be in the first book. And quite a ways through it. Oh, blimey, I don't even know. Actually, that's an interesting point. Andrei Sapkowski. Did I call him Peter Sapkowski earlier? Andrei Sapkowski. That's his name. He actually doesn't consider these games canon.
Wrong. Footwork.
So these games to him aren't part of his stories. Which is
Enough.
interesting. Of course, that's his right because it's his IP, it's his intellectual property, so he can do what he wants to it.
What do you think?
But the Witcher franchise and The Witcher 3 is like Poland's
Take off
biggest
the blindfold.
export of all time. And it's, I think it,
You've got work
there
to
was some
do.
stat, it like, makes up like 10% of their entire GDP,
Maybe for a witcher.
which is just,
Think drowners
that's
or
just
striggers will
insanity.
go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions.
a lot of people have said that
Wise.
Ciri's got like a really huge head,
Well, yes.
but I don't
That book was
know, man,
horribly
I don't see it.
I know. And
It
you
seems
know that's no
relatively well
excuse.
proportioned.
dull. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
I've got a pretty big head, so maybe I'm just empathising.
Better not. Vesemir said if it does, he'll make you eat a bowl of slugs covered in salt.
You!
Exactly. So you'd best behave. Come on. We'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the walls?
No, mate.
Not this time. Believe
I
me,
recorded this
we
like
won't
7
keep Vesemir
times.
waiting.
I do not want to run the walls. Like, no. Please. We're not missing much, it's just a basic combat tutorial. But, yeah, like I said, it's my second playthrough, so I'm pretty familiar with the controls. This is on, what's it called? Death March difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, which I started on the first
Anything to
playthrough.
say for yourself, young lady?
I just couldn't be bothered, I just wanted to play normal and see the story, so I just put it back down to normal.
Sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zeracania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
Mm-hmm.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
Mate. Mate.
So you did the reading. Why not admit it right off?
Never pounce on an advantage as soon as it appears. Wait till it stands to have maximum effect. Uncle Vesemir's
I swear, the sass on this girl is
Yeah,
just
you're a
unbelievable.
quick study. Quick, but mischievous. Fine, we've talked enough. Geralt, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword.
No, that dummy though. Trust me.
What do you think? Should we start
Shit
by
hits hard.
reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free
In
training?
The Witcher 2 you could actually train on dummies. I think. And you could get XP from them. And I think that was like a...
Let's skip straight to free training.
You had to do that
No point
to
going
reach
over
like
the
max
basics
level or
again.
something. Something to do with dummies in Witcher 2. In Flotsam. I think if you hit them, you got XP or... Oh, whatever. There was a thing with dummies in Flotsam. In Witcher 2.
Whoa! You really showed him, kid.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Lambert. Guy's a dick. Don't like Lambert. Escort's cool though.
A little she-devil. As soon as she's back, we'll send her to polishing all the swords at Kaer Morhen.
It's also the first time that we've been to Kaer Morhen for
Find that helmet?
a long time in the games. I don't think... No, there was no Kaer Morhen at all in Witcher 2, was there? You start Witcher 1 in Kaer Morhen, but yeah. It looks really similar. Well, as you'd expect, it looks similar to how it does in Witcher 1, but obviously it's been updated graphically, but it's very, very faithful to the original's portrayal, I guess, of it. There was a... one of the first things you see in Witcher 1 is a monster called a Frightener that bursts through the wall, like one of the side walls of the castle, and in this it's still broken down, which I thought was a nice little touch. Nah, fucked it. Absolutely fucked it. No chance, mate. It's a fucking flying ship. Oh shit, son. It was all a dream. If that wasn't clear enough already, Jesus. May 1272.
You all right?
Had a nightmare.
About?
Take forever to explain.
Dawn's some way off. We've got time.
We like Vesemir, so we'll tell him everything.
Started in the guest room at Kaer Morhen. I was relaxing in the tub, and next to me,
Triss.
Ooh,
Yennefer.
ooh,
Funny, isn't it?
Oh.
She's never been there. Seemed so real in my dream, though.
right. So
Was
Triss,
she nagging
yeah.
you about something?
Let's not get started with Triss. Triss,
True to life,
Witcher 2,
indeed.
she's like the Pengalang. She's like the main Pengalang. She's your love interest in Witcher 2, right?
I know we will.
So,
That's the
Witcher
whole
2,
worries me.
you've lost your memory. You have
I've seen the
amnesia.
tracks. She's at
This is
full
Geralt
gallop
talking
all
about.
the
You have
time.
amnesia.
Breakneck
And you
speed through
forget
wildlands,
that Yennefer
devastating
exists.
battlefields. She's in a hurry to get
Then you bang
somewhere,
Triss.
or fleeing
And
somewhere.
Triss and Yennefer are like best friends. They're besties.
Trouble of some sort.
They're both sorceresses. They were both in this thing called the Lodge of Sorceresses, and they're like best friends. And then Triss just fucking boned Geralt behind Yennefer's back. It's deep. It's deep, man.
Don't know. Guess I thought once we were
Now
finally
Yennefer's all
reunited,
pissed
things
because
would go
Geralt boned
calm,
Triss,
at
but
least for a
Geralt didn't
while.
matter. It's like Ross and Rachel from Friends, but instead of being on a break, Geralt literally forgot who Yennefer was.
In a dream, I went and found
So I mean,
Ciri,
from my point of
and
view,
we trained.
that's cool, man. That's alright. Like, let him off. He legit forgot who you were.
Kids who were faster, stronger,
Triss, though,
but none had
slap a bitch up. Like, that's not cool. She didn't forget who anyone was. She was fully lucid. She
Didn't
knew.
end well, did it? Your dream.
She knew who she was boning.
No.
And that shit's not
The
cool,
Wild Hunt
Triss.
appeared,
Alright?
Attacked Ciri. I couldn't move. Stood there like a
We don't like Triss. We like Yennefer. Yennefer's the true Pengaling.
It was just a dream.
That's the problem. It was more. In the past, when Ciri'd appear in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in danger.
We taught her how to defend herself from anything, wraiths included.
It says something about this game that I can record it 7 times. None of these are my fault, by the way. Just
Time to go.
throwing that out there. Completely free from all blame. It was all
Wait.
software related. That's all bullshit. Anyway,
Might have overlooked.
it says something about this opening sequence that I can play it 7 times for recording and still
We were meant to meet in
not get
Willoughby.
too
That's
pissed
what
off.
she wrote. Meanwhile, one army or another burns
It's
the
good.
village to the
It's a good
ground.
opening. I like it.
All we can do is follow her trail, so
Stop talking for a minute. give me the letter. How about that? It does smell of lilac and
And
gooseberries.
dead horse.
You were gonna read it, not sniff it.
That's banter.
We must meet soon. Willoughby near Vizima. Nothing else to guide us there. What's this postscript? I still have the unicorn?
Yeah, she does. Uh-huh.
That's private. Very private.
Aha, I understand.
Yeah, he does.
At least I
He
think
knows.
I do. Maybe not
Vesemir
entirely,
knows.
but
He's cool. He's
perhaps
legit.
That's for the best.
Back on topic. How's it look? How far behind Yennefer are we?
2 or 3 days. Trail's fresh. But it looks like it leads towards the main road.
He may be old, but you know, he had his day. He is the OG pimp after all.
Wait, hear that?
I hear it. I smell it. Ghouls.
Christ. I don't remember which one of these this one was. Did I flop this? I might have flopped this really badly. Bear in mind, once again, this is on Death March difficulty, right? They hit hard. I'm bad at video games, but I'm not as bad as I look. Right? Believe me? Please? I might have done really well there, actually, I'm not sure. Who cares? It's just a game. Alright, so combat tips, if you happen to have never played a Witcher game before. Especially if you're playing on a really hard difficulty, you want to keep the Quen sign up at all times, which is what I just used there. Quen is like a magical shield, and it protects you from one hit. You can upgrade it so it can protect you from more hits, and it does some extra stuff when you upgrade it too. It's cool. But always keep that up whenever you're... Is that adrenaline? Whenever the yellow bar refills, basically. Pop a Quen back up.
Of course. When armies pass, necrophages
Yeah, that was...
follow. Let's
That was
go
alright,
before
that's pretty
any
good.
more show up.
What the hell? Is that a bit of arm just floating? Mate. It's rough. Yeah, excuse me for picking up all the herbs in the world. You need herbs, you gotta make some potions and stuff, man.
Because you can
I know it's boring,
potions
but
on their blood.
herbs. Herbs are herbs.
Because by eating rotting
And you
corpses,
need 'em.
they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No. Really upset him too. His theory collapsed.
I feel like that was a reference to something in the books. Also bear in mind that I've only... Well, I've listened to them
War's
by
not
audiobook.
exactly going our way.
We have a
The Last Wish,
The northern realm.
Blood of Elves, and
Radovic's realms, don't you mean?
a third one.
And Evan are no more.
Really good.
Radovic's
Really good. They're on
legends
YouTube.
swore
I'll link them in the description. Listen to them.
wins the war.
Brilliant.
Believe that.
The bloke that narrates it, English bloke, he is just the king. He is the king of accents. It's amazing. He's got Bristolian, he's got like Northern Lancashire. Geralt's voice is amazing. It's just the best like Northern accent ever. He sounds like Sean Bean. That is this guy's Geralt. Listen to it. Amazing. Good stuff.
We going?
So yeah, I've only listened to those first three because they're the only three that have been translated into writing and recorded in English. So next one comes out March 2016, I think, which is it's a while, but you know. Oh yeah, that horse arse slap. So there we get to see a bit of difference between the two witches. Geralt is young and sprightly and hot, and Vesemir is just sort of getting on a bit, isn't he? He's getting a bit old. Vesemir, actually, nobody actually knows how old he is, but he's about 300. Legit 300. And Geralt's about 97, 98, so he's nearly 100 himself,
Yeah.
which is
Come out.
impressive. He's looking good. He's looking good. I mean, I would.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like
Me,
my
look at this guy's hair.
Provided you got lucky.
Every time. Look at
Your
it.
horse died quickly. But
It's like he literally put a bowl over his head and just left it there for 2 days.
Piece by piece.
Oh,
He's got like a little pokey bit at the top. What's going on?
You'd like a reward, I suppose.
Yeah. I feel kind of guilty though. Should have left him some money to get him a fucking haircut.
Thing is, I've a meager purse at the moment. Nilfgaardians requisitioned my goods.
Yeah, no one cares. I'm a fucking witcher. Give me my money. Something that I've started doing recently as well is role-playing the actual character. Because in games where there's a set protagonist, like in The Witcher 3 with Geralt, I've always in the past sort of role-played what I want to do and what I would do in that situation if I... Not that I'd ever be in that situation, but what I would do if I was...
Woman, medium height,
You know what I'm saying. But in this game, I've really started to... Now that I've got the background of the books and the previous games, I've really sort of got into how Geralt is as a character in the books and started role-playing
especially since that wound needs
as he would actually play out these situations. And I've enjoyed it more. I don't know why.
Let's go.
But I think when you're role-playing essentially yourself, it kind of takes you out of the character a little bit. But when you're doing what the character actually would do, it sort of... I'm gonna use the I word. It helps to keep the immersion going. And that is, as cliche as it is, or has become, I think that is actually quite important. So yeah, play how you want, but that's how I do it. And I've had good fun with it, so...
Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh, drives monsters
Oh,
crazy
man.
sometimes.
In the next like 5 minutes there's some shit, I'm telling you.
And we should leave as soon as we learn it.
That goose. Them high-res mugs. I wonder what could happen here.
What? Take that down before there's trouble. That is your coat of arms, the Temerian lilies. They've a right to hang there.
Isn't this guy in blue wearing Temerian colours?
Temeria no more, old man. It's Nilfgaard now.
So this, if you're new to the Witcher series, this is the first time we get to see sort of the political tensions in play. The Witcher games and the books are heavily politically involved. Like, there's a lot of politics in these books and games, and it's really well done. It's really well written. But the main conflict at the moment is Nilfgaard, who are a empire from the south, and the Northern Realms, which Temeria is a part of. And Temerians are very patriotic, as you kind of just saw from that guy, who was like, no, keep the coat of arms up. And so that's the conflict now. There's a lot of... We get to see a lot of the perspective of sort of the peasantry, I guess. A lot of how they... A lot of their take on the war, rather than the sort of... only the big players, like something like Game of Thrones, where we only see the perspectives of the big and powerful. Here, in the Witcher series, we get to see a lot more of just average people and how they're affected by all of it.
How can I be of service?
With a drop of vodka for me.
Bantamir.
Something to wet your tongue.
Show me what you got.
I love this. Like, some characters, merchants like this, like you can have like an in-depth conversation with them and then immediately go straight to show them what you've got behind the counter. So they can just end the conversation on a bombshell, and you can just be like, nope, what have you got? It's just, I love it. Yeah, what I was doing there was buying some Gwent cards. Now Gwent, ooh, I'm gonna get into that in a minute. I have got a short, I say short, a relatively short Gwent tutorial breakdown kind of thing that just goes over the basic tactics and mechanics of the card game Gwent. So yeah, go ahead and watch that if you would like. But I'll talk about it a bit more, well, in lesser detail in the next few minutes.
Or go to the Lord for
Because
help.
we just bought some
Now,
Grank
the
cards.
Noblemen don't use the privy without asking the Black One's permission first. And seems they hanged the Lord. So no contract.
Shame. We might have done something, but not for free.
You're goddamn right. That's one of the main things that I've done with the whole role-playing as Geralt thing. Everything costs something. Like, every time there's an option to get money for a thing, I'm taking that money. Better believe I'm taking that money.
Lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
And dead horse.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, everyone smells like
especially hard
piss
to forget
in
this
Temeria.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
Really helps to get you in the atmosphere of the game. Just imagine that everywhere you're riding to just smells like hot piss. Like baking hot piss. Just imagine. Was that a huge rat or was that a cat? I'm assuming that was a cat. Jesus Christ. I like the guy's hat. It's good.
Bandage that up.
Please. I'm not decrepit yet.
No.
Then I'll ask about Yennefer.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, we'd rather not draw any attention.
That was a funny joke, wasn't it?
What is it, Wolf?
Realize it's been half a year since we hunted down that fiend in Varun.
Yes. Well, that was more than a fiend. What was that bastard's name? Drugan? May the soil lie light upon him. Things used to be simpler. Monsters were bad, humans good. Now, everything's all confused.
Used to be exactly the same. You've just forgotten.
Do well not to point up my age. You're near a century old yourself.
There we go.
See you later.
There we go.
I'm looking for someone.
And we seek some peace and quiet. Out of my face, freak. For your breath sours my
Fuck
beer.
off. That little upside down triangle
Black and white.
is one of your signs. It's called Axie, and you can use it to Jedi mind trick people, basically. Calm down your horse, trick enemies in battle so they fight each other. It's good shit.
Lots of tracks leading off the main road.
And you can upgrade Axie
Oi, people! The freak's taking
down a
over
tree
mine.
called Delusion,
I'll
and
take
that
your tongue if you don't shut up.
allows for more of those options in dialogue trees, so you can trick people like I just did to that bloke. But as you'll see throughout the playthrough, well, you can obviously, but doing it, using Axie where there's more than one person involved, because you can only use it on one person at a time. So if there's a bloke standing next to the person you just used it on, they're going to lose their minds. They're going to be like, fuck, you just did some magic trick, yo. And everyone's going to start attacking you. So, yeah, you know. Use it sparingly, unless you need that XP, like I do.
Tis the same
And
as
use it
any
all the
other.
time.
They tax us, requisition this or that. But they do keep the peace in the village, I'll grant them that.
See, that's what I meant about
Mourn Temeria's passing.
the
I
views
walked
of the
around half a
peasantry.
year back.
Just that kind of
Falklands
conversation.
was cut down.
You can ask a lot of people about how the war's going and how it's affecting them and stuff. It's good. It's good stuff.
Farewell.
Here we go. Here we go, folks. Look at this. You ready? I'm ready.
What a waste of
This man.
time. The earth shall revolve around the sun before you comprehend these rules.
Got a minute?
Why not?
See those cards on the
Albert
table
Kidd,
there?
Assistant Professor in Contemporary History at Oxenfurt Academy.
Geralt of Rivia. Witcher with tenure.
I love this guy's facial expressions.
Long hair, dressed in black and white. Seen anyone like that?
Of course not. Unlike the populace, I know the horsewoman of war is pure poppycock.
Horsewoman of war. What's that about?
Folks say an omen. A beautiful phantom rides the fields at night, looks as you described her. Armies follow her, and all who cross her path meet with misfortune.
Yeah?
I can vouch for the last
Yeah,
bit.
sounds about right.
Know where they saw her?
No, facts interest me, not fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Not a place I'd ever expect to find a scholar. Take it you're fleeing the war?
Quite the opposite. Chasing it. I'm headed for the front.
Tired of life?
I seek knowledge,
Tired
which
of
I
life.
value more than life itself. I've a thirst no dusty old tomes can quench. I wish to see the Nilfgaard
This guy,
on my own
reminds me of a bloke called Robert Capa.
Recorded all in my
Capa.
chronicle, my magnum.
He was a war photographer.
Take my advice. Go back to
And
your books while you can.
bloody,
Wars no
was it
gain.
one of the
No
Indochina?
faculty meetings to attend. No
It was one of the Indochina wars. He went.
notes to compile.
He was.
First soldier you see will kill you.
He went up to
Do that, me.
film it, to document it, I guess, and he jumped out of a jeep and just started running onto a battlefield and got blown up by a landmine. And this guy reminds me of him. There was a song about him. Well, not about him. Actually, it was about him. By old Jay called Taro. Good song. Listen to that.
City like dogs over a juicy bone.
Many a ruler's choked on that bone.
True. We value our liberty in Novigrad, and we know how to fight for it.
The scholars especially.
The sword is not the only weapon. Do not forget, architects from our academy designed the city walls. Walls no war machine has ever crumbled.
That's a fair point, mate. You got me there.
Gotta go.
Here we go.
So long.
Here we
A
go.
moment, Witcher. You strike me
Now,
as a man of
quick thing before we start.
Are you familiar with Gwent?
If you play this guy and you lose against him, make sure you play him again until you win, because he gives you a card, a Gwent card, that you can only get from him.
Why not?
And if you don't win it from him, then there is a chance to get it again, but it can glitch for some people, and it did glitch for me my last playthrough. The card that he gives you is available underneath a tree in a later part of the game, but for a lot of people, myself included, that the spawn of the dead body that has the card on it didn't appear. So, just in case, make sure you beat this guy. But fuck yeah, Gwent, let's play! Akira Met to start with, good stuff. Standard 5 card. Is that a Zeracanian Fire Scorpion? Probably. Some sort of trebuchet. Cynthia, shit card. Yeah, obviously, as you'd expect from a card game, the first time you play, your cards are very basic. They're just plain unit cards. So, nothing particularly exciting, but fucking Gwent is just the best game ever. It's hard to explain. Like, if you don't like card games, I'm not the one who's going to get you into them, but this is good stuff right here. Gwent, man. It's the good shit. So I'll try and briefly explain what's going on. Like I said, I've got a larger video that explains better. Essentially, what you want to do is beat the opponent's score, and you do this by putting down cards that have score values on them. You can see these score values, they're little white circles with a number inside them. There's 3 rows, there's a melee row, a ranged combat row, and a siege row. You want to put your cards down in these rows. And basically you just want to have more numbers than the opponent. That is the that is the most basic breakdown of Gwent. You just want to have a higher number count than your opponent does. And there's various... If this was a multiplayer game, there would be quite a lot of mind games involved, just because of this pass system that you just saw. You can pass based on how many cards and how much score you currently have on the board, and based on how many cards your opponent has left. So say if the opponent has 1 card left on the board, you've got 50 points, they've got 41 points. You're sort of betting whether or not they can beat your score in their next turn.
You have a knack for this game.
Like I said,
If you ever find
larger
yourself
video.
in Oxford
It's too hard to explain.
To play a true master, ask for Stepan, a simple innkeep by trade, but a true maestro.
And thus begins
Gwent.
the quest of Gwent.
Thanks.
Completely optional, you don't have to do it if you hate Gwent. Not that you would. If you hate Gwent, just like, no, just off with you. And there we go, Zoltan Chive. Only time you, well, like I was talking about earlier, one of the only times you can get Zoltan Chive in the game. So yeah. And that's it for episode 1, so thank you guys. Hope you come back, watch episode 2. It's been fun. See you next time.